to Things Network. It's went to Simply Spooky because I'm shared out. Hey Jacqueline, I'm sharing it from Simply Spooky just now.
I've just pressed the button on things, so hopefully it's going there as well now.
Yeah, so my week's not been too bad really. It's been all right. Been very busy. So yeah, it's a challenge anyway. Put it that way.
Hi Naomi. Naomi's in. Hope you're well, Naomi.
Hello.
But I think this was when I looked at the subject tonight, I was like, it's a good one to pick. Events versus obviously home investigations. I'm personally not a fan of events.
Right.
And that's only me being, it's not me being, well, it could be me being a weirdo, but I think with events, for everybody that does events like yourself, Viv, and everybody else, fair play to you, but I just couldn't.
Well, we had an event on just before Christmas. Jay came, and when I say we had an event, there was how many of us? 7.
7. I wouldn't class that as an event.
It's like a private event.
Yeah, it was private. We did an investigation, but I wouldn't class it as an event. I think an event is where you've got 15 or more people. That's what I would class as an event. But obviously, this was only a small number of people that went. So me personally would only class that as a private investigation. But I can see where you're coming from, where about the events type of stuff. Though, to be fair,
I think with events, like if it's hi Lisa, nice to you join us. It's all right if it's other paranormal investigators, but I think if you're working with the hi William,
William,
with the public, as in people that are interested in events and things like that, I just couldn't do that because if anything happens, and this is just my views, guys, that this is not me being with people events, but in my own opinion, if something goes wrong, whether you'll be a team, right, and you're part of that team, and if anything goes wrong, and heaven forbid anything happens to the public, your name's tied to that.
Yeah, this is where insurance comes in.
Yeah, you have to have
liability
insurance, first aiders on hand. You have to have a health and safety report done. You also have to have a first aid kit in attendance. You also, I've been on events and done events where I make people sign a disclaimer to say, 1, they've not been drinking, 2, they're not under the influence of drugs. If they are allergic to anything, get them to write it down, a disclaimer, before it's even started. So I go through all of that before the event has actually took place. When I've hosted big paracons, the insurance doesn't only just go for the venue, because the venue, if something is broken in that venue, then the people hiring that venue has to pay for it. So again, in that disclaimer, if you break something at the venue, you are liable for it. I'm not going to be held responsible. And I put cameras up everywhere. And there's normally CCTV up everywhere. Hi, Raymond.
Hey, Carl. Hey, Dave.
Hello, Mr. Merton. Right, in a Scottish accent.
Merton. But, I wouldn't mind being going along, but I think some of the prices that I've seen quite personally for people it's charging the events can be a bit astronomical.
Yes. So some of that. Oh, the Viking is in the house.
Hey, Eric.
I like the new picture. Oh, look at the cat. She's got a Johnny Puss.
Oh, Did you know that we are in
John's better.
Eric's married? I had them on Friday night and I thought I was talking to two different people. Didn't realise the two of them were married.
Oh, fucking mutton. No, murden. Murden. Not mutton. Clean your ears out.
Sorry, that was me.
Bless him. Oh, bless him. We love Carl. Yeah, so what was I going to say? Yes, I've taken members of the public round, and you end up sort of, you don't get to investigate the place that you go to on an event, to be fair, because you're babysitting everyone. So you do get to investigate to a degree. I've been on some what I call super duper fantastic events. If I hadn't have gone on the event, I would never have got the opportunity to investigate the place, put it that way. And I've done it for them, met some great people, didn't get much of an investigation, but everyone that went had a really good time. There's been other occasions where I've gone with an event company. Now, I'm going to give a big shout out to Haunted Happenings. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I'm a bit long in the tooth and I've investigated for years and I've got all the equipment, I've got all the bells and whistles.
Blah, blah,
blah, blah, blah, blah. And I rang them up and I said, look, I want to bring my team to one of your events, but I don't want to be lumbered with the public. I want to go around on my own. I want a gap in between me and the public, if you like. And they've said, yeah, no problem. And because my team have gone and we've done this with Haunted Happenings, she's even given us a discount. So we've not paid the stupid prices. And I think that's good because I'm known to Haunted Happenings, put it that way. And they know who I am. They know I'm not going to muck around. We're there for a serious reason. We wanted to go and look at this place because we've done research. We found out that there is actually a haunting there, and we wanted to go have a nosy and investigate it for ourselves. So in that respect, yes, that's worked and it's helped. And I've had a good time. They differ completely from a home investigation. But it's kept my finger on the pulse and in the loop. When I've done home investigations, there's still protocol that you should follow. DBS checks. How many members of your team have been DBS checked? How many have got a criminal record?
Not me.
How many have sat and done counselling courses? How many have like, because it's not just going in there and doing an investigation and then go home. It's like, got to talk to the people in the house, what's happening in their private life. You do a little bit of counselling work before you've even started. And then from that conversation, what do they expect from you? What do they want from you? You do the investigation. It doesn't end there because you still have that counselling that goes on afterwards. But then you're going to get rid of it. How can I help you? What can I do next?
But then you've got to when you finish, you've got to make sure that it's all secure and no one else, like, nothing's there, isn't it, really? So you've got to make sure their safety as well as our own. So it's quite a bit.
Sorry, Parker, on you go.
No, go on, you're right.
The one check that I think should be vital for a house investigation, not just about investigators, but I think it should be about the person themselves, because you don't even know who you're walking into.
Yes.
Somebody could be like coming to you. You don't know their history. You don't know if they're psycho. You just take it face value of, oh, this person looks cool. And I can't stress that enough. Never do investigations yourself, because you never know who's round the corner waiting.
You could be going to Ross's house and
well,
you'll you'd get attacked by Lego. Hello, Ross. Oh, we love Ross. Well, just a little bit.
Anyway.
Eric's been married 16 years.
Oh, wow. You don't have to tell me what the secret is, Eric.
got 5 minutes. I'm here. I wasn't late, honest. You're okay, Joe. We don't mind. We don't mind, Joe. Yes. See, now Carl's made a really good point there. Like, it's some of our jobs that we do, you get checked automatically. So I think that's a bonus. It's got to be a bonus, because I've investigated with people that I thought I knew, and here we are, all these years later. One of the people that, you know, I was a friend of his, but not great mates. You know, we met through a third party and come out for every now and again. This guy's now doing 18 years for paedophilia. So
Wow.
You think you know someone? Trust me,
Wow.
you don't. So doing these kind of checks here, I think is important, not just for us as investigators. I think for the people that you're trying to help as well. You know,
Yeah.
putting these extra security, these extra checks in, because there are so many rogue people in the paranormal now, Lo. What do you think, Jay? You get people that just want to go and get close to women.
Yeah.
You get people that have got an ulterior motive. Somebody wants to steal. You know,
Yeah. So you just
they're
got to
good at telling
be
a
wary
lie.
of it, didn't you? You know, you don't know, like you say, you didn't know that fella that was serving 18 years for paedophilia. You know,
No.
and I think that's obviously a big, you know, if we don't, just for instance, we didn't do them checks, and we had a few people from the public were, you know, stealed all our stuff, and you know, we should have verified that before we've even started doing the events, you know, because will the insurance cover for that stuff? Yes, it might do, but face value, it's not gonna, you know, some of your stuff is, you know, hundreds of pounds. That's only going to go face value, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I think, like, if we did anyway, I think with the other team, it's just say if someone noticed what was going on, they're going to go and say, look, what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? They're going to stick as a team, I think. It definitely, if we went to the event, it definitely wouldn't happen on our watch anyway, put it that way.
No.
But
Carl says the DBS checks, it's only the checks when you put the forms in. I know with my hubby, they're renewed every year. He has to fill in paperwork, get it to the office, and it doesn't hear anymore because the office keep it all. But so it depends on what you do and the companies that you work for. But, you know, DBS checks are not that expensive. Well, we're trying to pay for our gas bills at the minute, but so everything's expensive.
Yeah.
But you can get them privately as well.
Yeah, you can.
The problem with DBS checks, as much as we all believe in DBS checks, they don't help either. Because
it depends what DBS checks you get done, because there's varying levels of checks. You go right the way through to criminal, and if somebody's even on a register, it will show up.
It will show up straight away.
Yeah.
I was vetted for my job, so that's police. That's everything. That goes quite high.
Yeah.
That goes through your credit checks and everything else. Because when I was going to be a prison officer, I researched my job.
Yeah, that's good. You did that.
But DBS checks, I mean, I'm quite sceptical with them, because even like my sort of checks, there's a lot of people that's come through the door and you wouldn't think. And
yeah, I know.
So long down the line.
Didn't they up to recently? Because they were letting people in working with children and even working with elderly here in the UK. I don't know about Scotland. And they were saying that the DBS checks that we're doing, they were called something else back then. Is it CBT? No, I don't know. They were calling it something else. It wasn't called DBS.
There's a PVG or there's a SSSC.
So they were saying that they weren't stringent enough, and they changed the laws over here now. So the actual DBS checks goes into things a bit further than they used to. And I think it was Baby P, you know, the murder of Baby P.
Aye.
Yeah, it all came about because of what happened to him, but poor little boy.
I think the problem is, again, and it ties in with sort of people with, like, people that get, and I don't agree with this, right? I think if you, I'm just going to use my crime show as an example. If you do something bad, right? Like we have seen it past James Bulger as prime example, and they give them new identities, right? Fair enough. One stayed out of trouble,
Yes.
the other hasn't, right? So we'll use the one that hasn't. So the one that hasn't, obviously, as everybody knows, it's John Venables, right? And obviously, when you get these new identities, which I don't agree with that you should have, right? Because regardless of like that, right, the other one stayed out of trouble, right, up until for this long, right? So you never hear of him. I don't agree with that either, because at the end of the day, why should you go? Say you want a job like myself, or a job, I don't know, for the force or whatever, right? You've got to use that new identity. So you're going to be working among the public.
So that's got a slate clean or whatever. But I think they do. They do check if you've had your name done by Depot. They do check that. So that new identity that he's got, it wouldn't matter, because they go back if he's had his name depotted, and then it will.
How would you know that? The point that Lois is trying to say is, how would you know that they've had their name changed by Depot? You wouldn't necessarily know.
He could just come in and say, "This is my name. This is where I'm born." Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting.
There's lots and lots there to think about. But Ross has made a really good, really fucking, sorry, I shouldn't swear, but this is a fucking excellent point. He said you got to be aware of the clients as well. And I totally 100% hand on heart agree with that, because I've been in situations before where you get called to a private case, you do your checks, everything seems, it all checks out. You go, and they seem genuine enough. But when you sit down and you do those preliminary, let's have a chat, let's have a talk, clearly, some people, not all, these people that have called for the investigators to go in have some issues in their life, but what they wanted was a medium to go in and give them a reading, rather than going to a medium direct and having that direct. They called a whole bloody team in, made up this cock and ball story because the ego's playing. They want people around them, and then they just want to sit with a medium and discuss stuff with a medium all night. And I think that's really, really unfair. I think, this is where the counselling side really needs to kick in and sort that person out. Well, not sort that person out, but you know what I'm trying to say. Sit with them, find out what the issues were, if they needed the mediumship, if there were other things going on. Are they grieving? That is another big thing that people miss. If you had just had a loss in the family and strange things are happening in the house, that person's grieving, and how many of us have sat and done, I know you are virtually there, Lois, but you're counselling, the grieving, the psychology, all of that should all come into it. It's not just a case of, oh yeah, let's go and do a home investigation. I mean, I did a home investigation that lasted nearly 3 years. That's how long that investigation lasted for. And the reason it stopped was because the client died. Stuff was still happening all the time in that house. It's just, well, that's another thing. That's another story. But anyway, yeah. So it's how long do you want to vest into an investigation? I mean, best person to speak to about private home investigations is Ian Barrow. Mr. Barrow.
But I get what you're saying, Viv. I totally do, and I totally agree with you. I think probably the person could be lonely as well. You could be the only person that they see in maybe that day. And I think sometimes it comes like that, that they get lonely. They see at this advertisement, you get people in the house, and as you say, they send you in a wild goose chase.
Yeah, it's a psychological thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's read some of these questions here. You stay alert around you because a check only confirms someone who got caught doing something wrong may fly under the radar. Yeah, I mean, do you know what? I'm not going to mention any names because I'll get into trouble. And I know that my esteemed colleagues here know who I'm talking about, so we won't mention any names. But I have been on an investigation with other teams and found myself in a situation where somebody touched me rather inappropriately, and it wasn't the ghosts, it was a person. So yeah, it's and I've known of this person for quite some time, and it was rather shocking. I must admit, this person was lucky he didn't get punched in the face, but you know, that's another story again.
Lucky
But
for
again,
him.
you really don't know who you can trust.
No. No, that's it.
Hey, Bev. Hey, Scott.
Hi, Bev.
Getting things brings back sad memories. Oh dear. Oh, we don't want you to have sad memories.
No.
We wish for you only happy ones. Jacqueline, hi. Scotty's in the
Right,
house.
Scott.
Good evening, Scott.
Hey, Joanne. I mean, don't get me wrong, home investigations, I mean, I quite like, see if their house is dead olden looking, I quite like them. I swear I was just...
It wasn't you. Ross is lovely, by the way. He's a really cool guy.
I love doing like home investigations, you know, if it's an old house, that would be pretty cool. I would love to do any of the olden houses.
Well, I am. I've been thinking about it, and I'm waiting for the activity to ramp up again. And when it does, I'm bringing my first team into my home to investigate it.
Ooh.
So
I'm looking forward to it.
You're not doing it.
I am.
You're
I know you. You just investigate the fridge or the drinks cabinet. No, I am going to bring a team in independently of me, and I am going to just to see what they find out. And it's not against the team. It's I want them. The reason I want them to do it is to give them the opportunity to come investigate my home. But not only that, does what they find correlate with what I know is happening in the house? And I'm not going to tell them anything. And these people have earned my trust, because I will leave them alone in the house for a period of time so they can do what they want within reason. As long as they stay out of my knicker drawer, you know, that's fine. Oh, dear. Right.
I've had that once.
Oh, my God. I'm not surprised, Nettie. Bloody hell.
Oh, wow.
Make me shins.
These people make my skin crawl.
Yeah.
Seriously. That must have been terrifying being touched. I wasn't terrified. It was more of a
shock.
Are you having an effing laugh? I got up, I swiped his hand away, I got up and said, I'm going now. And I walked straight out. I was so angry that I wanted to, because I was on somebody else's event. If I'd done anything, then I would have been in the wrong. I wanted to lay that bloke out, seriously.
I don't know. Couldn't. I think they would have stuck beside your side, really, someone touching you, and it's like that was a bit inappropriate, do you know? Do you know what I mean?
Can I answer this one, Viv?
Go on.
No, Eric, it doesn't. If they know what they're doing. If they don't know what they're doing, that's where your problems begin.
Yeah.
Seriously, Eric, you couldn't make it any worse in my home, honestly. The amount of stuff that I've got here that I shouldn't, that I do, and I won't get rid of it, I think is associated with the reason I mean, I know the house was haunted before I moved in, but I've brought stuff into the house that I think is aggravated it. But I will not remove it out of principle. If that makes sense. I'm not going to say too much in case anybody watches this that will come to my home to investigate, but yeah. So I'll have to make sure the fridge is empty, so Jay can't empty it.
That's nice, isn't it?
You're getting starved, Jamie.
You what?
You're getting starved.
I know.
Yeah. We'll go out, me and Andy, so
Go out on a date night.
yeah.
I'll see you in 20 minutes, Scott. It's Scott that's joining. I'm joining him in Spig on because we were all investigating on Saturday.
Oh, Scott, your investigating partner.
Yeah, I was with him and another team. It was really, really good. Good laugh.
Cool. Is Scott going to go with you to the doggy suicide bridge?
I actually suggested that to Scott, and Scott was saying his team had been yapping for a while about doing it.
You need to do it and take a dog with you.
Vibs have said for me getting this dog just to see if it happens.
Take your cat.
And put it on an extending lead and film.
Cats.
No, just get a dog. It's got to be a dog because apparently it's something to do with the smell, isn't it? That
Yeah.
drives them to the left.
Aye.
Yeah, Scott, sort it out and film Lois walking the dog across the bridge. Go live.
I'll make sure it's not too heavy because I'll end up getting on the bridge.
I think you should do it, honestly, seriously. Yeah. Yeah, and if it's not offered, don't take it.
Exactly.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
That's all right. I got touched and she bloody laughed at me, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about that one.
Yeah, but you got touched by unseen hands, spirit hands.
Spirit hand, and yeah. So,
what do you think about the analysis when it comes to events as opposed to home investigations? Do you think the analysis? I personally think the analysis that you do afterwards, before, during, and afterwards, is so much more intense and time-consuming.
I think there's a lot more stress on both, really, because if you're running an event, you've got to make sure you got your numbers there. You've got to make sure you've got to worry about your numbers. You've got to do all your checking out for help, all your health and safety stuff, and have you got this, have you got that? But even in a home investigation, you still got to do that if it's like you're running an event. I think you still got to keep it on the same kind of line. You still need to be in that mindset that you need to get everything sorted for an event and for a home investigation.
I think, I don't know if this is just me, but when I go on an event and you film stuff, you record stuff, you maybe using data loggers or record it, you do your pre-investigation checks and all that sort of thing. But when I load stuff on the computer and I'm just whizzing through it, right? It's not important. But when I've done a home investigation, I'm sort of going through the analysis. I'm listening. Did I hear that? Blah, blah, blah. Cut this, do that. And then I'll sit and I'll listen to the whole thing about 3 or 4 times before I decide, yes, it's of use, or no, it's not of use. And I'll get somebody else's opinion. And it's the same with any camera work that I do. Did I see that? Did I really see that? Cut that bit, copy it, paste it. So I've got my pasted bit, log the times, and then I'm going through all of it all over again. did I see right? Did I not see right? Calling somebody else in, have a look at that, tell me what you see, and see if they'd see the same thing as me. So I find like the work that goes into a home investigation is far more outweighs just going on an event, because it's like you do that for fun, to keep the cobwebs dusted, if you like. But the other side of it is a nightmare. It really is a nightmare, and it's time consuming.
It is, yeah. I bet you're still going through the stuff than we did over my birthday weekend.
Oh God.
You know.
Oh, don't. What do you think, Lo? Do you think the analysis afterwards and going through everything is?
I would say I think it would happen for me in both, because in events I would be too concentrated in making sure everybody's all right. Where are they? You know, I couldn't physically relax or investigate, because I would be too. Where is everybody? Are they all right? We're waiting Uber, missing one, and they could be in the toilet, and you're running about like a headless chicken, making sure there's no any holes, or got locked in somewhere they shouldn't be. Or I couldn't. So I wouldn't be able to do a proper investigation in events. Home investigations, for me, that's different, because you're just going to somebody's home and you're with the team. So I would have that time to relax and be able to go through everything.
Yeah.
See, a big guess.
I find over in America, now, the guys that are over there that are in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong, the way they investigate is completely different to what we do over here. A lot of them are mainly home investigations. And when it comes to events, and what we do over here is not something that is the norm in America.
Right.
They might
so what
go
do they do different then to what we do?
Well, they'll just take a group of people and go and investigate a house. Or
right, okay.
So don't forget, their history is not like ours.
No.
Where over here it's everywhere. Over there it just seems to be, it's everywhere over there anyway.
Yeah.
But they just concentrate in isolated pockets.
I see what you're saying.
Sense. I don't know why that is, but I don't know. It's about showing respect for the location and other people and the owners of the location.
That's true.
Yeah, it does. But I'll throw a curveball here. It depends on the location. I mean, the owners obviously always deserve respect, no matter who they are.
Yeah.
But if they're allowing you in, the owners of the location, 100%. Other people, yes, we should respect one another. But the human race is awful, and we don't. That's never going to change. We do in pockets. I'm finding we do in pockets. And respect for the spirits, again, that's a big question mark. We don't know what a spirit is. None of us knows what a spirit is, because we're not dead. We think we know what a spirit is. We think we're having communication with a spirit. Is it another dimension, whatever? And again, if you had the spirit of Hitler come and stand in front of you and want to converse with you, would you be respectful to him? I know I wouldn't. But that's just an opinion.
No,
it's how we perceive things to be, isn't it? It's all perception. That's what I think it is. It's all down to perception. Oh, this is a long one, Lo. Do you want to look at this one?
We have a ghost cat that visits. Some of my teammates have had experienced the cat as well as the spirit people who walk through. When we are asked to investigate a home, it usually comes down to making the family feel comfortable, and sometimes letting the spirits know that the breathing family need to take control.
That's lovely, isn't it? Spirit cat.
It's a good one.
Ross says it depends on the group. Yes.
Obviously, if you're picking the group, as the person who's picking the group, surely it should be alright because you're picking ones that are dead genuine. But if you're looking for outside the box and interviewing people, that's a lot different for
Yeah,
teams.
Yeah.
it's very, very, very different. I suppose over there in America, it's quite different as well.
Yeah.
Where are you from? Where are you from? Low.
Oh, me, Scotland.
Can't you tell by
Jay?
the accent?
Jay, where are you from?
Essex.
I'm
That's
from London.
Can I just say that Essex is a posh place, and I don't know how that wee dick get into Essex.
It's not.
Posh, isn't it?
That is, it
It's
is.
not.
It really is.
It's
I'm
not.
I'm from London.
Can't you tell?
I'm from London town.
Now do it now.
Do it how we normally speak.
Come
I'm
on,
from
governor.
London, in it, blood. Sorry. Home investigations are primary. The events tend to lead to larger, older buildings, hospital, mental hospital places, and with a well-known history. Do you know, I went to somebody's flat and it transpires that they are living in an old tuberculosis hospital that was converted. So I've also been in somebody's house that was a converted church. So
Nice.
you never know where you're going to end up. It's quite an interesting thing there, Lisa. Yeah, even some like places of work, like you go to people's work and it's been something that's been transformed from something or another. It's quite amazing. There you go, Lo.
No, it's not normal to do events. No enough big places to do events. I can throw a stone in UK and hit a haunted castle.
That's Scotland.
You look about and it's full of castles.
Yeah, but at the minute it's all about bridges.
Aye, it's bridges now. We've moved on to bridges.
We're done with the castles. It's bridges now.
Yep. One well-known investigator was at an old lighthouse.
Oh,
Wow!
I'd love to do that. I'd love
You're
to
so
do that.
lucky, Lisa.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, Sten.
Sten actually came into one of my lives as we were finishing. I think it was Frighteners on Friday night. Literally, just as we were finishing, he came in, or it was the Crime Show. It was one of the two. I say it's a him. It could be a her for all I know.
Yeah, well, he's got a mask on. Bev's from Barnsley, South Yorkshire. Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's
I love
not a
Yorkshire.
million miles away. Oh, Yorkshire's
I love Yorkshire.
beautiful. Oh.
It's nice.
Sarah's from Barry Island, Wales. Yes,
Wales.
Sarah.
Oh, Welsh accent.
Love it, old Barry.
Yeah. We should go and see Sarah, you know. I love Wales.
William says we've got haunted bridges as well.
Yes.
Yes, I bet you have, yeah.
Yes. They got Goatman Bridge over there. I don't know where that one is, where it's haunted by a goat man that's quite nasty.
Oh.
So it's a cryptid then.
Yeah, but plus you have where people have thrown bodies off bridges and stuff, and Golden Gate Bridge has got a high number of suicides as well. That must be really haunted there.
That will be. I grew up in a 200-year-old church. My father and grandfather moved to from Maine, USA, to Massachusetts, USA, where I grew up. Grew up with events, which makes my life today make a ton more sense. That's true.
Wow. It'd be lovely to live in a church. I'd love it.
That would be.
They moved the building. Wow. I haven't heard of Goatman Bridge. Where is Goatman Bridge? Is it? I bought a patch and I stuck it on the seat of my shorts.
It's in Texas, Texas, USA. Aye.
Texas.
I'm from lovely Manchester.
Someone's got it.
Sounds... Sounds fantastic.
Yeah. So now we've talked about events versus home investigations. What about the urbex? The urbex side of things. So urbexers tend to go into buildings and photography and whatever. But it is still very much part of a paranormal thing. There is this argument that you're trespassing. What people don't seem to realise is, and I say this from one of my uncles that has a number of properties, and one that he can't and refuses to do up because it's got an order on it, and it has to be done a certain way, or that so he's left it, and he's hoping that people will go into the building and set fire to it, and it will be done. Yeah, so it's the land that's more important than the actual building itself. And trespass is only it's not a civil matter.
It's a civil matter,
isn't it? It's a civil matter, yeah. So if the owners then want to prosecute, it's down to it's half the time they're not bothered.
No.
Yeah. So what do you think about people that go into buildings that are disused and empty? I don't personally have a problem with it.
Personally, I don't have a problem with that, and I'll tell you exactly why, because everybody seems to have a big thing about trespassing. I think, right, if the owner does not look after the building, does not take any time with it, doesn't even come out to see it, then what's the issue? What is the issue?
Exactly.
It's like, I mean, many of the places I've been, like Lennox Castle, I'll use Lennox Castle as a prime example. Quickly before I go off, I'll use Lennox Castle. Lennox Castle sits now, and you'll see it looks very, very beautiful when you get up to the point where you know you're coming to it.
Yeah.
And when you get in it, the full place is just wrecked. Absolutely wrecked. I wouldn't call that trespass because there's nobody there.
No.
Nobody looks after it. It's old and abandoned. So no one's going to give a shit. And see if, to be honest, say I fell and broke a leg in there, or heaven forbid, anything happens to me in one of these locations that are abandoned, then that's a risk I'm taking. And on my head.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well said, that woman. Well said, that woman. Yay!
Meow.
What about churches? I mean, we recently over here, some people have got very vocal about investigating churches and graveyards. What are your thoughts about churches and graveyards? You say, there's no point going to a graveyard. It's not haunted. There's no one's going to be there. It's just the body.
So I think you're still going to respect it, even if it's a church or a graveyard or wherever. You're still going to give that respect. But I think they're probably more haunted than. I don't know. It's quite hard.
And there's. Right, I don't mean this to sound terrible. Oh, God, strike me down the likeness.
Just say it.
But they're dead. Who gives a fuck? If I was dead, I wouldn't give a fuck if someone coming and swarming in the graveyard. They're dead.
But some people, they get, the family members are still alive and they don't need to see this. And
they're willing to go and pay a psyche 50, 70, £100 just to go and get a reading with their granny, their mum, their dad coming through. They've got it. You can't have it all right. You can't say they're so respectful, but then go, wait, now I'm go to a psyche and say, can you get my granny through? Can you get my mum and dad through?
Do you know what? I've had some amazing times in churches and in graveyards. And I've even had Seriously, I've even had the church warden, and sometimes even the vicar has joined in, and we've had so much fun. It's been brilliant, and it all depends on the individuals. And again, it's perception and how you behave and how you conduct yourself. But I just think it's brilliant, especially when you have the vicar of the church. What are you doing? Oh, I'm just having a look around, Oh, I've not seen you here before. Yes, I'm a ghost hunter. Oh, what does that mean? And then I've told them, what does that entail? I said, I've got a K2 meter here. What does that do? Oh, and I put it in the vicar's hand, and he's gone walking around the church with it. Oh, the lights are flashing. What does that mean? I mean, there's been nobody else there.
I have to head because I'm in alive in about 10 minutes, so I can go for a pee and that before we go. Right, love you all.
See you later.
See you next week, love.
Bye.
But it's been absolutely so funny, and you've been with me in a church, though, haven't you? So we've had fun in a church.
Yeah, but we've also respected it, what it is,
Yeah. But right, let's get back to these things in the chat. Where are we? So, Gary's in the house. Hello, Gary. Hope you're well.
Gary.
Long time no speak. I love that picture of Gary, actually. Lisa says, Lois, why didn't we bring this up at lunch? We'll have to do it again. It's good. Whitchurch Hospital in Cardiff shut in 2016. It's been destroyed. Wow. See again. It's the land as well. The land is so rich in history. It's always worth having a look.
Pole, guys. Wow.
That's where Father Christmas lives, Nigel.
Yep.
Hi, Carl.
Hi, Carl.
Trunk meat Carl's in the house. We love Carl. Eric, I don't have a problem with Urban Explorer ghost hunting, but a lot of them do it by themselves and it can be really dangerous. Yes.
Yeah.
And also, you never know what you're going to come across because a lot of vagrants and homeless people use some of these abandoned buildings for shelter. So that's really, really important to remember. You might not be alone. Richard Hassler is in the house. Hello, Richard. Hope you're doing well and keeping safe. Bev loves old churches. I do too. I live about an hour from Salem, and I know when my daughter and I go, they actually have tours in graveyards. It's only the area I know that not only allows it, but promotes it. I'd love to go there, wouldn't you, Jay? Salem.
Yeah.
They wouldn't know what to do when we'd arrive. We'd take Nettie with us.
Nettie would come, yeah.
Yeah, Nettie would come. They're having a chat. Hi, Cowboy Nigel. I know I'm the one with the accent, but I love to listen to you guys swear. What do you want us to say?
No, we're not allowed.
We can do requests. It's not a problem. If it's requested in the chat, maybe we can.
Get us told off.
Do you know, Richard, you want to try this one? You know when you're doing your bounty hunting and you're pointing your thing and you're telling people to stop. You go,
Taser.
Yeah, go, oi, slag, you're going down.
Hog time.
Hog time. Make him squeal like a piggy. Sorry. Yes, Nettie's coming with us.
Good.
Nettie's coming with us to LA as well. Good night, Lisa. I hope you have a good night as well, whatever you're doing. Right, Jay, it is time for the jar of doom. Oh, no, doom. You're picking it.
No, you are, because I picked this one.
Are you sure? I think you should pick it, because I've got the jar. Tell me
Go
when
on
to stop.
Stop.
I have one. Next week's discussion Oh, we should get Ross in on this one. Being touched and ghostly attacks, physical attacks by spirit or unseen
I know that.
hands.
I know that feeling.
It'll be a really good discussion. But
It would be.
Ross, I can't say, I shouldn't really be advertising up there, but I'm going to say it. Ross Allison has brought out a documentary. You can get it on DVD. It's on Amazon now, and it's about touch, ghostly touch, and he can prove touch. And you see some ghostly attacks on that documentary.
I can prove.
So, I know you can, but he can physically prove it. So if you haven't seen it, get onto Amazon Prime or Amazon or wherever you do your downloads from, and look up "Touched by a Ghost." It will come up. You can even go to his website.
Is it on YouTube or anything?
No, it's
No.
You can see it's on aghost.com.
Okay.
If you can go on the website and have a look. But as for the paranormal community, I think what he's done is it's just turned it all upside down on its head. So yeah, it's definitely worth watching.
Having a look.
I'm waiting for my hard copy DVD when Ross comes over.
Signed.
Get him to sign it. Yeah, it is definitely worth a look on that. I go to mention that. I'll go on. See, Eric's a big fan. He's seen it as well. Eric, how would you rate this documentary? You've seen it in its entirety. Give me your review in the chat, so people don't just take my word for it. Let them see your review as well, Eric. But yeah, so next week, hopefully, Dan will be joining us. He's not been very well, so he's been recovering. And as Jay calls him, sick note.
Sick note.
Sick note. Tomorrow on Simply Spooky, we will be talking to Malcolm Robinson, another Scottish gentleman who is very well known within the paranormal field over here in the UK. We'll be talking about all things paranormal, all things cryptid. He's one man that's been down in a submarine in Loch Ness.
That's interesting.
The Loch Ness monster. Yes.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, he did that a few years ago. And he's also into the UFO side of things as well. So he's a very, very interesting man. So hopefully you can join us then. That will be on the Simply Spooky Network tomorrow night. And on Thursday, on the Simply Spooky Network, we have Lois talking about To the Grave and Back. So yeah, it's a good show. Anything goes. It's very informative as well. And then on Friday we have Frighteners. You also have a lot of shows coming up on the Things Network. Look out for our favourite. Can't help it, but he is Nick Muley.
Mr. Muley.
Mr. Muley. Yeah, so there's lots going on both channels. Give us a look. And if you can share and encourage people to watch and subscribe, that would be good as well. So we have Eric's review, and I'm just going to put it up here for everyone to see. He said, mine, it's a 10. In fact, I've decided to get his equipment when it becomes public. I think you need a big bank loan as well, Eric.
Yeah, I think so.
We'll try and get him on. I mean, we can only ask the question, and if he's free, I'm sure he will. But if not, we'll try and get him on a show another time. But I know he's a busy man. But Eric, yeah, we'll try and get him on. You can ask him all the questions you like. Bev, thank you. It's been very interesting. And thank you, Bev, for tuning in.
You're very welcome, Bev.
We are coming to the end of the show tonight. So we want to thank each and every one of you in the chat. for your questions, for your thoughts, for the laughs, everything. Because without you guys, we wouldn't be doing this, you know.
No.
We're three idiots, really, just chatting shit. Normally we go down rabbit holes when Dan's here because his attention's just like, ooh.
But we have a good laugh with it as well. That's why we do it.
Yeah, exactly. And we will speak to you guys next week. So take care, everybody. Be kind to one another. We know you're only human, and be safe. See you soon.
See you later. Bye.
Oh, I've got to do my special wave.